Well, our top focus this hour is on US-India trade deal. President Donald Trump has announced that US and India have finalized a trade agreement. In fact, ahead of the announcement, President Trump spoke with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The deal comes after several months of negotiations. The Trump administration had levied a steep 50% tariff on Indian exports to the US. 25% of these tariffs were from India's crude oil trade with Russia. In a post on Truth Social, President Trump said that the US is reducing the reciprocal tariff from 25% to 18% out of friendship and respect for Prime Minister Modi. The US President also noted that India would reduce tariffs and non-tariff barriers against the US to zero. Following Trump's post, Prime Minister Modi also took to X and expressed delight that Made in India products will now have a reduced tariff of 18%. A White House official confirmed to ANI that Washington will also drop the additional 25% tariff on Indian imports imposed due to New Delhi's purchase of Russian oil, while noting that India has to cease, not just reduce Russian oil purchases. While Trump claimed that Prime Minister Modi had agreed to stop buying Russian oil and increase purchases from the United States and Venezuela, the Indian Prime Minister's statement made no mention of any such move. A comprehensive document which laid out the details of this deal, which would rather lay out, is still awaited. But US Ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, has confirmed to Indian media that the total tariff on India will be 18%. This essentially puts New Delhi at an advantage over its regional export rivals in South and Southeast Asia. India now faces lower tariffs than Indonesia, which is at 19%, Bangladesh and even Vietnam at 20% mark. It also holds a slight edge over Pakistan, where the tariffs stand at 19%. The gap is much wider with China, which faces tariffs of 34%. Significant to note that the deal comes just days after India and the European Union announced what both sides called the mother of all trade deals. While European Union is India's largest trading partner as an economic bloc, US continues to be the single largest trading partner. And getting us more details on India-US trade deal is WION's Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal. Take a look at this report.
Significant development in India-US trading relationship. The trade deal has been announced by the Trump administration and by the Indian government, though the nitty-gritties are awaited. But essentially here in London, it will be closely watched. We saw that the Indian side had a trade deal announcement with the British side last year. And just last week, we saw the trade deal being announced with the European side, which was dubbed as the mother of all trade deal. Now, essentially, we know that this is going to have a positive impact in India-US relationship, relationship that has seen the last 1 year a lot of negative developments. But in terms of the upcoming developments, we know that the Indian External Affairs Minister is in the Washington DC and is going to meet the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, a meeting that will be closely watched. Siddhant Sibal for WION in London.